Hello, everybody. This is part four of the last or the longest CKD lab that I was demoing. In part three, where I left off, the requirement was create a persistent volume, create a PVC against it. It's like a ticket, and then you use that PVC to mount that into the pod and the container. Now, when I left off in part three, we had mounted the PVC into the pod, but not in the container, and we had failed to find the mm, the right documentation on Kubernetes website, which is a drag because you kind of need that. But I will give the code in the description that I work from. Hopefully that'll work out for you. The other way is to go through Cube Explain and find the keyword that you need and use that to do it live. But that's going to take a long time. Again, don't get disheartened because this is the longest lab, and you only have to get 60% of the questions right on the exam to pass. So even if you don't get it or you only get parts of it, that is fine. So you're not going to fail the exam because you don't know how to do the longest possible lab. Part four of this. So in my simple pod YAML file that mounts a PVC, I see in the container section, this is what I have to do. So I will copy that and modify to our need. So c.yaml was our third YAML file for this lab. When we last left off, I had done the pod part, and now I'm going to mount. See, the way it works, the pod mounts the volume under the name, and the container then uses that reference name to mount it on the container. So let's do this. Volume mounts. I'm not sure if that much space is needed. Give me a second. I'm just going to look at that. No, so I was right. So you never need 4 spaces. You need that and that. Now, mount path. This is the path on the container where this volume will be mounted. So I know from the previous labs that the requirement says var foo, just to make this example. And the name, this name has to match what the pod says up above. You see the pod mounts this volume, the PVC, under this name, foo-volume. And we use that volume under the pod in the container section to mount it. Foo volume. And this is also why you can mount this exact same volume under different path under different containers. I'll do another lab on that some other day, but you can do that. So that should work, except it will not work, and I'll tell you for a different reason, and that's not relevant, but I will show you what's happening. So, okay, apply -f c.yaml. No problem with the code itself. Let's get PO, and you'll see there's an error. Create container error. This is a good example of how to troubleshoot this. So let's do it. The best way to troubleshoot pod failures is with a describe command. K describe pod, name of the pod. And you will see it failed because the original person's volume that we created from the node was from a path called op-foo. In my case, I am using a really small GCE computer on Google Cloud that I don't really have control over. So this particular directory on that host is not writable, which is why it cannot be mounted in real life. So that's why it failed. But in the actual exam, whatever path they give you will be writable, so this error will not happen. So I hope you found this video useful. This is number 4, part 4 of a series of the longest possible lab. If you found these videos useful, please like and subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in the next lab.